alembics and stuff.
Mom said to put your toys back when you're done playing with them.
Gnarly.
So what are you thinking for your beliefs, Nick?
Shit. Well, I think generally it's tough with an elf because they got the long life and the long view on things, so they might not be as likely to. It feels like change is necessarily like a slower evolution. So I was tempted to be like, oh, maybe my faith in like the Ethark and like elven lore masters and everything has been shaken since the like reliability of lore masters was maybe something that was instilled into like as an essential part of that elven culture. So seeing one who is so thoroughly corrupted, and who also like subverted the expectation of like providing an understanding for whatever prophecy I've been like trained to expect and like follow or chase. I don't know. I'm kind of like just all over the place with it.
Certain that the lore master was going to be on your side, right?
Yeah, I think that was definitely an expectation. Like, oh yeah, we'll find the lore master. Maybe not everything's going to be all right, but like we'll have a good chat, talk about the old days with the elven stuff, and that'll be cool. And that's not how that worked out. So that's probably shaking enough to at least begin the emergence of a new belief, or like shake a core belief pretty aggressively.
Should probably definitely maybe for your second one tie it into the Outlands in some way. Well, and Lenora is talking about going back to get the Golden Army, so you could write one too. I'm just trying to think of, so you've got 10 fate and 3 persona, so some really like quick short term things to game the system to get some persona is probably a good idea. So you can just be like literally talk to Crusader Malcolm and find out what's been happening while we've been gone for 5 days or whatever, like something simple like that. Easy persona for the session.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair in that my beliefs have had a tendency to be like larger scale than is necessary. I was thinking there could be something with like protecting Arden as well, since I failed Amalise. Or maybe, yeah.
That's still more of a fate farm.
Yes.
I would actually
Yeah.
kind of your whole first concept. I would tie Arden into that and make that your first belief is about Arden and where you go from here. Like not physically, but morally.
My first, like the
Well, because you need 2 new beliefs, and then you could even rewrite your
yeah.
third one if you wanted to try to get like 3 persona this session. Pretty easily doable.
Yeah. And when we last saw Crusader Malcolm, he was kind of pissed at us.
No, he's the one who was like, well, I guess he wasn't pissed at you, but remember, I guess last time you interacted with him was when you sang your song of sadness, and it just made everyone depressed.
Yeah.
And the last basically right before you left, he was essentially becoming Cisabella's advisor, and Cisabella was taking over command of the army and proclaiming herself to be Asher's chosen one, or at the very least Asher's avatar, to lead her armies.
Yeah.
Because everybody
Right,
kind of
she's the
accepts
one
that whoever wields the scythe is the chosen one, but they're all looking to her for leadership. Malcolm was like the faux leader in her absence, or in the absence of any leadership.
I mean, maybe it's a belief about protecting her from the Golden Army.
Yeah.
That could be a fate. That could be something you could earn persona on.
Yeah.
Why, if someone could just remind me, like, why are we letting her like walk around freely? Right? Isn't she the anti-equivalent of Amelise? I guess I'm trying to think, like, why are we protecting her, basically? why aren't we holding her hostage or something like that? And I'm fine if we don't. I just can't remember what our reasoning is for not being antagonistic towards this person.
I think it's like she is a more, from what we've seen, like pure. It's like she's Jesus, and the people running around claiming to be like anti-supporters are like the Southern Baptists. If that makes sense.
A really good way of putting it.
Okay.
So like her in her own way is like she's fine and is just trying to be like chill and like these are the cool things about anti, and the anti people that we've encountered have been like, fuck you, we're gonna kill everything, yeah.
Well,
Okay,
and that is
gotcha.
essentially it. Yeah, like as far as you all know, the army of the Thomas, in the name of Anti, are trying to take over, led by Chancellor Laurentin. And Arden is telling you that without Anti and Asher, like the world will be retaken by the primal spirits, which is essentially what Loop worships. And so she claims that Anti is not driving any of what's happening outside of the Grove, and has proclaimed part of the prophecy of the Etharch said an Anti's chosen one would wield her sword and come to the Grove to claim it, and she's telling Dakath that's him, and that both of the gods in theory are 2 parts of a singular whole, and that whole is necessary to fight off the primal elements and the spirits from taking over.
We have some zealots here, and I'm wondering what, again, like, I guess I'm just wondering, what the more religious and faithful, think of that notion at some point. Doesn't need to be now. It's probably going to they just talk about it in character, probably, but Something I wonder.
I mean, that's why he has to protect her, because they may just want to like string her up.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have my first belief as the appearance of Ardennes might lead to conflict with the Golden Army. I will not let her be harmed by the Golden Army. It seems a little redundant, but I wanted to add specifically not let her be harmed by the Golden Army, because there's other shit that can harm her on the way, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a little redundant. Maybe just change the second part to I will protect her from harm.
Okay, well, I guess that lets me fate farm if there's conflict.
Yeah, well, and that's why, because you're at 10 fate, I would add another part to that of like, that's where you could talk about, or even something like, we must hide her identity while we reconvene with our forces, something like that, and that gives you a way to like, that could cause an issue trying to keep her heritage hidden while you go check in with the army. Or something you can do with her. Even just saying like, I need to find out more from her. And then you just have to have a conversation with her to get more information, and you get a persona.
Okay. Yeah. I think protecting her from harm is probably more of Dakoth's like wheelhouse than like trying to keep a secret.
Totally.
He's kind of an idiot for like stuff like that. So I think like just like having a conversation.
Even just like, I need to find out from her more about the prophecy specifically is like kind of your whole thing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what I was typing as you were saying. That is, I must know more about Ardennes and our shared role in the prophecy.
I like that. Ganelon, for your second
Well-
belief, it's essentially a fate because you're kind of always working towards getting there. My only thoughts, if you wanted to try to get a persona out of it, was add something about bringing Golden Army soldiers with you to Miskulk. Or if you're against that, you could say prevent Lenora from recruiting too many people, something like that. I don't know. I'm just like reading through everyone's stuff.
Sorry to take care of that bookkeeping stuff in the beginning of the session. I appreciate your patience.
No, it's all good. That's what we're here for. I think I'm gonna leave. I see two beliefs of mine that could potentially get finished today. I think I'm gonna leave that third one, or leave the middle one, kind of longer term for now. I'll probably put a point on that once we actually, well, maybe not. I don't know.
I like Lenora's new ones. Simple and to the point. 13 fate. That's so funny.
We gotta get some of those duels of wits or fights or something to soak up some Arta.
Yeah. Nick, for your third belief,
Yeah.
do you want to try to get a persona out of that one too? Because you're about to go back to you're going back to the church where your forces were last seen. So you could just add something of even like, I will convince more of our followers that Lenora is the chosen one, and then just trying to do that gets you a persona.
Um, I think I'm gonna word it a little more generically, so it's not like, well, you totally failed. Um, I will make this case um, once more before the Golden Army. So the whole belief is Lenora is Asher's chosen, and I owe my continued existence to her. I will support her rise to the station appropriate of this certainty. I will make this case once more before the Golden Army. That way, whether it goes good or not, I did it.
I like that phrasing. Is everybody ready?
Eddie.
Yep.
You stand on the edge of the burning wood. The flames are as potent and magical as the torch fires of the possessed rioters in Dalaran, the flames of Asher. It is nighttime, and the outlands behind you are covered in a thick dusting of snow and ice, eerily reflecting and enhancing the flames enveloping the forest. Dakath sings an uneasy dirge, lamenting the loss of his friend Ivo and his grief. And if you recall, when you last entered the Outlands, you were seeing streaking stars and comets flying overhead, just these bright white fires in the sky raining down far off in the distance. That continues, and you know that it has been days since you entered the forest, and yet it still goes on. You realize as you've exited that you are actually right back where you started, just near the encampment of your followers, or the Golden Army survivors, rather, and where they were beginning fortifications of the church. Though you know you traveled deep into the wood, you appear to exit right where you came in. Dakath, I believe you have a grief test you need to make for us. I was looking at it, and it says... I think we'd kind of talked about it at the end, but when I was reviewing again, Obstacle 9 Grief says, watching a friend commit suicide, which is pretty much exactly what Ivo did to save your life as his last in-game action as a character.
Sheesh.
So I think we're going to call this an Ob 9 Grief test for you. Your lament...
Yeah, lowers it by 1.
Mm-hmm. The lament obstacle is the same as the grief test.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The failure to your lament is that your sword will become corroded and unusable, stained with the blood of the Elven Lore Master.
Oh, fuck.
You can choose to not do the lament and keep it at a challenging test.
So practically what happens if I have a challenging already, then does it feel difficult? Because the way those tests work, right, is that it just gets marked off on my grief, is my understanding. Like when it comes to the grief test itself, it's not something that I'm rolling. Am I understanding that correctly?
Exactly. It's it just automatically counts as a test for you, and you roll the lament to try and lower it by 1 step.
So if I already have a challenging marked, does that mean it automatically becomes a difficult? Like, in terms of filling the bubble?
You can have up to 3 challengings, I think, but
Oh, can you?
I see what you're saying, and
Because it seems that the like there's the opportunity for up to 3 challengings if your attribute is a high enough level, but to go from 4 to 5, I need 1 challenging, 2 difficult, and 4 routine. Marked 1 challenging and 1 difficult.
let's see. The in-game experiences. Okay, yeah. I can't remember where it talks about this. Dang it. Advances like steel or health. Tested differently, obviously. Let's see. Oh, okay. The obstacle is used only to determine the level of the test for the purposes of advancement.
Yeah, I don't think you ever have to roll a grief test. You just check it.
Right, but his question
Right.
is if it's does it. So he already has a challenging grief test towards advancement. So does it count as a difficult to actually? I don't think so. I think you're just lucky that it's so terrible. But I have to look into advancements on steel and health. I don't remember exactly. Unless
I just posted a picture in general, and that's what my grief looks like right now. It seems like it doesn't make sense for it to have like no effect, because
Right, I agree.
Yeah, mechanically.
Well, the whole point is to push your grief higher, and so yeah, we'll call it a difficult test. And so if you want to roll the lament, it'll bring it to a routine.
Well, no, I mean, I guess what I was getting at is that it makes like order of magnitude wise, it's like, well, if it's a challenging, then maybe a challenging in this circumstance would end up being like 1 difficult and 2 routine. I don't know.
I think that's a little too detrimental and convoluted. So I would just say that
Yeah,
we'll count it as a
yeah.
difficult, and if you want to lament, it'll do routine.
Okay. So yeah, when you're saying by 1 step, it's a step down the. It's not like the ob. Okay. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is like. I think there's no way I'm not doing the test, even though it seems impossible, or is impossible. Very, very unlikely. It's just what I've been trained to do. Nothing. I don't get to. It's already open-ended. I'm not going to spend a persona. I'm just going to roll it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
If it's still rolling, oh my god.
Wow.
Sheesh. That was a lot closer than it had any right to be.
You're pretty good.
I only regret that I wasted such an insane roll on something that was incredibly, incredibly impossible. But 6 successes on 3 dice is fucked up.
Yeah.
I really wanted it.
What is your lament? What was the name of it?
Lament for the Fallen?
Perfect. You lost a companion. He sacrificed himself for you, diving underneath the great beast dragon of the wood. You draw your sword in his honor, and you see that it is covered in this black rust as the blood of the elven lore master stains it and corrodes it. It seems flimsy.
I think I immediately start to try and do whatever arms cleaning or arms maintenance routine had been instilled into me through the training. One of my instincts is to preserve my elvish arms and armor.
You also have bad experience with black rust.
Oh, sure. This is a very bad, no good, no good day. Like, I would almost say that at the end of this session, that would be some sort of grief test.
So interestingly,
Yeah.
mending applies only to armor rather than arms. You
Is there a mending skill or something?
Okay, what skills do I have?
you would maybe assume, especially based on the skills you have, that you have two options as far as I can see it. You can make an anti-wise to declare something about what's happening and maybe how to fix it, or you could pray to Asher.
Oh. That's like everything. That's just like what's going on with the Dakoth arc, isn't it? I think I would do the praying to Asher. I guess doing anti-wise would, like, is not necessarily... It just is, like, knowing the enemy more, or maybe not enemy.
So for praying to Asher, and out of character, you would know you need Lenora for that. As you're still trying to obtain a faith trait vote, essentially. In terms of the wise, I would probably call it... Well, Ob 7 is bizarre or obscure, and Ob 8 are freaky details and specifics.
Oh god, okay.
And I think this would be an Ob 7. Ob 8 is truly like, here's a crazy fact about the god Anti. This, involving more her lore master, would be obscure. and bizarre. So Ob 7, Anti-Wise Test, or Faith with Lenora, which...
I think that makes more sense, the Faith with Lenora. Because Ob 7 is like, that to me seems clearly like I would know that's out of my job description, you know. So yeah, I run up to Lenora and ask, Lenora, the tainted blood of the Lore Master has a corrosive effect on my steel. I require your assistance to look to Asher for a means to expel this corruption.
Last time I called upon Asher, burned down the heart of the forest.
And so it was Asher's forest to burn down.
You wish to suffer the wrath of our God for the sake of your blade?
I know conflict in that the blade is mine to maintain, and my body is Asher's to destroy if they wish.
Question: do we still have that sword from the grove?
You know that Arden is carrying
gonna-
it.
The one that's gonna fuck my whole life up?
What's the deal with that sword? What does it do? You
Arden
take it?
Arden told him that he was sent to claim the sword. That was the whole reason he was here. The lore master spoke of an elf worthy enough to take it, lead Antai's believers in the war against the primal spirits, and whoever wields the sword, she called the Gleam of Antai. She says that is Antai's chosen one, and the followers of Antai will follow whoever wields the sword. And Dakath refused it 3 times, thrice, I believe. And she says she will carry it for him for when he's ready to claim his destiny or his fate. And he says, it was a great line. He said, many keep telling me of my fate or something, and we'll see if you can choose it or not.
That's great. So Lenora sees this all as signs, that drawing him toward that basically he's being drawn towards this other sword. All the gods are pulling him in that direction. However, it is an Ob 5 faith test to save your sword.
Purification.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, we could also put before Asher if they would have me be Auntie's chosen, if they truly are one greater entity.
Oh, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
So that one would be an Ob 7 for inspiration. Call upon the deity for revelation or knowledge. This is a dangerous prayer because a divinity knows much and will often reveal that which the priest did not intend to learn.
That's what burned on the forest last time.
Yep, the failure of it, yeah.
No, I think it's more that she will pray to save to save the blade, and if it isn't to be saved, then then that'll be Asher's will.
Okay, so we'll set it to Ob 5.
What else happens if it fails other than the? I mean,
Yes, so
it
I'm
seems like the
looking
sword is
at
broken.
looking at faith afflictions, divine afflictions, and I think similarly to the Ob 7 actually, now that we talked about it, I'm going to do awful revelation. Your patron stuns you with an awful revelation. The faithful must make a steel test. Hesitation increased by failure margin of the test. And the sword will just completely degrade before your very eyes.
Okay.
Oh. Yikes.
I don't like that.
Awesome. We should gather the faithful to pray together.
Well, there's only us now, right? We got to do this now before we get back to the temple, right?
Lest the corruption consume the sword entirely.
Yeah.
I see.
Lenora falls to her knees, looks up at the sky, places both hands outward, and you can see that, you know, the veins in her hands sort of glow with fire, like there's fire in her veins. And she prays to Mother Asher to mend this blade of your devoted servant Dakath, so that he might the followers, the corrupted followers of Anti. Test. I will use a persona point.
I'm helping.
I don't think we have enough.
Yeah.
Lenora's
all on her
I don't
own for
think we-
this.
I don't think we have, because Foster's gone, right? He got obliterated.
Yeah. So it's probably been about only maybe 10 minutes, since you've even exited the forest. It's still just burning. It's like a nightlight in the midst of this dark, snowy plains behind you. Arden is sitting on a small rock, just lightly weeping this whole time. But it's probably not even been 10 minutes, maybe less even at this point. Like Dakath sang his lament, looks at his sword, and then came to you.
No, this is not gonna go well. She gives him a look. You get what you asked for.
Oh, that's a lot of low rolls.
No. Oh no.
Yep. So it is.
Dakath, you're holding your
Show me
blade,
terror.
and it just begins to almost like wither away, as if it's a living organism even, and the black rust of the blood just completely destroys it, and all that's left in your hand is a withered hilt, equally useless. Lenora, you are struck with a vision. You see yourself and all your companions and the entirety of the Golden Army that follows you now moving through the Outlands, this snowy, blasted landscape, and almost all of them lie dead. You lay with a fatal wound, and you see Dakath, in a last-ditch effort, move to take the Sword of Anti, and suddenly you feel yourself being healed, and all of the Golden Army soldiers begin to rise as there's an explosion of ice and snow out from the ground, and something massive emerges out of this hole in the ice. And Dakath's features, where you typically know them to be sullen and rather grim and a bit sad even, is filled with just this face of hate and fury and spite as he wields the Sword of Anti. And then your vision just, you snap back into like reality. It was like having a premonition.
Oh, wow.
Perhaps I should take the sword from Arden, then. If this is to be the fate of my sword, perhaps this is the will of Asher.
Lenora, you failed by 4, so you need to make a steel test plus an ob of 4. And you are only allowed to swoon or fall prone and beg for mercy if you fail.
Okay.
So let me... So it kind of gives you a free steel test for failing, which is pretty cool.
Ob 9 steel test.
Ooh.
Did it calculate for you?
I don't know why you're the only one who's something that doesn't show up. It looked
Yeah.
It rolled another 6. It like exploded, but it rolled a 1 after that. So you almost got like 5 or 6 successes in the end.
Okay. Well, it's a failure. She collapses after this vision.
Arden begins to speak. That creature of flame, it was a demon. The seer had told me of them, creatures of ancient evil which overthrew the primordial spirits. The angels of Anti tried to protect the balance, but they're driven into the shadow of the world with Anti's beloved. I remember when this grove was a single sapling which I cared and sprouted into my home. I remember my sister Amelise being taken away in a wreath of flame. It was so bright, I had to look away. I've only known her through my vision since then. The burning of this forest will lead to nothing but devastation. We'll become a world without light or dark, without life, without death. If this is Asher's will, then she has turned against Anti's heart. She is no longer working for the betterment of this place. She will bring her demons and overrun the entirety of this, attempting to overtake the spirits and turn this world into nothing but flame, where nothing can survive except her kin. Anti's the only one that can stop this from happening, to preserve the world as it is. We must regrow the forest. We must reach the coast and fulfill the prophecy. That is where the summoning will take place. She's interrupted as Faust, wheezing and coughing, comes stumbling out of the burning wood, collapsing under the ground in front of you, barely conscious, but with no singe and no char from the flames upon his skin or armor. We'll go back to you all. You must take the blade. You must take the gleam of Anti. Her followers will go behind the one who wields it, the chosen one. That is why you were sent here. You must save Asher from herself. You must fight in the name of Anti.
I think as she's monologuing, I rush over to Lenora, who's collapsed and kind of only half pay attention. Does Lenora... How long is she out?
Passed out. So for
Just no.
A
That's
while,
like
I'm
just
guessing.
just like 4 or 5 hesitations. You were able to choose whether you swoon or fall prone and beg for mercy, just to Asher.
she swooned.
Yeah, that's more what it sounded like for sure. So yeah, you almost go to catch her then, Dakath, I suppose, as like she's about to fall.
Yeah.
After your sword degrades in front of you, and you see her almost like have an episode of some kind. And that's when Arden starts speaking, and Faust stumbles out of the forest, which is still alight with this magical fire of Asher. It doesn't take long before Lenora begins to come to.
Lenora, are you okay?
She just gestures towards the burning forest. Our god's rage is beyond comprehension.
Arden has once again implored me to take the sword. And it's beginning to seem like an inevitability.
You would maybe assume that you know that you're only a few hours walk from the church, and you know they would have more swords for you. So and you know it's fairly safe to follow the edge of the Outlands from, at least it was a few days ago.
You need to stay true to yourself, not be swayed by pressure of these gods. You will find the right blade for you. Perhaps now it is faith rather than steel.
A wise warrior finds his enemy's weapons and turns them to his own power. Perhaps this sword can be cleansed or remade in service of Asher.
Indeed. The road is rarely safe, but we must traverse it. Is there a weapon I might use while we travel?
Yeah, I give you my axe.
Okay, I'll take it. This will do for now.
Oh my gosh, watching you try to open axe will be the funniest thing ever.
It's not right. The weight is not right.
He has to write a whole new song of the axe.
I guess I have knives open. Does anybody have a knife? I guess would I have a knife? That's really not great.
I think it would make sense for you to have a knife.
Yeah.
I'll create that item real quick while y'all are role playing.
Let's continue on.
Indeed. The army must know of these events.
Faust regathers himself. What happened? Why are we here? Did we find the heart? I don't remember anything. What's going on?
Best that you don't remember.
The wood is alight with
This-
Asher's fire. What has been done?
I'll gesture to Arden and say, "This is the heart of the grove. She will travel with us to the Golden Army. You were overtaken by a spirit of Asher, and the forest was lit ablaze."
She's the spitting image of Lady Amelise. What is the meaning behind this?
She is the sister of the Lady Amelise. Meet Arden.
This is a sign, an omen, is it not? Perhaps she is the reincarnation of Lady Amelise. Perhaps she is the one who can lead the army and regain the trust and hearts of the people against Laurentin. We can return with
Give you the
Amelise
further-
reborn.
That is close, but not the case. This is a reflection of Amelise.
Perhaps, perhaps not. But my words do not ring any less true if that is the case. She must but say the correct things and praise for Asher. And, I mean, surely she's a creation of Asher to be in such likeness to the Chosen One. We were sent here to find her and put her back upon the throne, and the scythe in her hands.
I think the world will not be set back to the way that it was. The hands of the gods move us towards something new.
Perhaps. Let us take her to the Golden Army and display her for her followers to decide.
not for the followers to decide her fate or her role. That is her own. I will tell you, as she would, or will, that she is unlike the other followers of Auntie we have encountered. A more pure representation of that deity that is a reflection of Asher. She is not our opponent, but our opponents will think her of the same cloth.
He draws his axe and takes a step towards her and kind of glaring at her. You, ghost of Amelis, what say you to this? Do you praise the Lady Asher in all of her might and glory, and to see her light spread and push out all darkness? And she's still weeping a bit, but taking in his words.
Down your axe, Faust.
Oh, I have a instinct that. Well, never mind. I don't need to worry about that right now. Ignore. Sorry.
I do not follow the light of Asher, she who would create this world into a barren waste of flame and fury. I follow the beam in the sky, the shine of the moon, the reflection of the snow, Antai in all her glory, and her creatures of might as they encroach this place. They are of the underworld and the top world. They are the chosen one. They are the beloved. I will not see them burned away. Faust says, then you are a servant of the enemy. And it is my sworn duty to Asher and her chosen and her emissary that I slay all enemies who would stand before her and stand in her way and not choose her path. And he puts his axe up into an attack position, and you can tell he is about to rush her and try to kill her.
I'm gonna stand between them.
Stand aside, Dakath. I have no quarrel with you.
If you would quarrel with Arden, then you would quarrel with me.
You defend this
Put
creature
down
of the
your
night?
axe.
She sits
Asher's
there.
chosen is giving you a command.
Asher has not chosen again. The scythe would be in their hands if that was so. This
And I ask you delay decision. Stay your hand until we obtain the scythe. Then you will see the truth of my claim.
Okay. We can either do a simple persuasion test or a duel of wits.
We should go for the test. Because it's likely there will be a duel. There might be a duel of wits with the whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
crew.
So
Yeah, I have persuasion. I don't know why it's marked open. I don't believe it's actually open. Or open-ended, that is. Yeah, so would it be me making the persuasion test?
yes.
I think so, and we would be helping you.
And it's opposed?
I think it's against his will, right?
Will exponent.
I would like to fork in anti-wise, faithful, soothing platitudes, and etiquette, if that's possible.
There's a B6.
And then how many help dice am I getting?
He has a will of 6.
He does.
Goodness.
Yeah, I guess he's not like a low-level NPC guy, right? He did some serious damage in the fights that we've been
Well,
me fighting him with.
you just
with
saw
my
him
being-
turn into a fiery,
Well, sure.
animalistic beast. Also in the MB, he literally called himself to the voice of Asher when he was in that form.
Well, I guess my interpretation of that is that it's being like possession, you know, not necessarily himself doing that. But how many help dice am I getting?
Alan, are you joining in to talk this guy down?
I am. I'm trying to be a sort of. I don't know Foss, but he seems like an unhinged zealot. So I'm trying to be a voice of reason and calm. Of course, I'm also, kind of a scary guy, unfortunately. But yeah.
So you'll get
Okay.
are you going to use a
like
skill
to-
specifically to help with?
I have persuasion.
Okay. Perfect.
I would like to help with doctrine.
Yeah.
And quote a scripture essentially that of Asher that is about staying one's hand when reaping the harvest, to wait for the right time.
Okay. On a failure, he will. On a failure, his axe will become emblazoned with Asher's fire, and we'll have a fight.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we'll see about that, won't we?
Okay. Give us your roll if you want to.
I guess I'm gonna use a persona die on this.
So that's kind of how this.
More-
Oh, I'm sorry. You're gonna do the roll, I assume, no matter what. But essentially, the option is if you choose not to roll, you'll have a bloody versus with no enchantment on his axe, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do it?
How many dice do you got?
Let's see.
Sounds like 7.
Base at 3 plus 2 bonus dice, and then Reed, tell me if these forks are acceptable. One persona dice, so that's 6. My forks are anti-wise, etiquette, faithful, and soothing platitudes.
Only sounds like all of those apply.
So that's 10 dice.
So faithful is not a skill.
Oh,
Oh.
nine.
Okay. Why is it on my sheet?
We did that,
oh,
I think, just as
something-
we were treating it as opening it essentially
trait
for emotional
you're
magic,
working
but
toward.
Okay. The other thing that I was curious about is Sorrow of Truth. I was trying to look through the book, but
Oh.
having a hard time figuring out.
well, Sorrow of Truth,
What-
it's in the Codex. It's basically you can use that seed pod to sing
Right.
the Sorrow of Truth which allows you to
Gotcha.
turn yourself or other elves' hearts from grief to spite.
Gotcha.
I don't want to do that now.
No. Okay, so 9 dice.
Oh, so
Um,
close.
And
I'm
a
gonna
6 there.
reroll-
Yeah.
I got a 6. I'm gonna reroll with fate.
Ooh.
Oh, oh god. Damn.
Oh, close.
So close. Oh no. Oh no. I did not see this coming. Okay.
What are you doing? Said all this.
Well, we haven't
This is
done
your fault, Reed.
we haven't done a fight in a while, so let's do a fight.
What do you mean? We were just fighting that dragon.
But we didn't do a fight.
Is there? I mean, I guess. I'm almost never one to turn down a fight. I guess I'm just wondering with one
Well-
versus the rest of us, if we need to do that, or if we can do a big bloody versus. I'm happy to go either way. I guess I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
You know, are we if we're just gonna? It's gonna be like a.
I think we should do a bloody versus.
I think so
like
too.
3 versus 1.
But I also think your instinct kicks in before
Yeah.
that. Like you,
Yeah, no, I
you
mean-
recognize this is about to turn.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go down.
All right. So I have an instinct that says, when discourse turns to violence, which it has, invoke the stalwart intonations of Red Hecata, which will give me a trait called Preternaturally Calm for a conflict. And that is an obstacle 5. Looks like my sorcery is only 5. Well, gotta spend money to make money. Oh, 4. All right, could have been worse. I think that counts as a difficult test too. Oh, I should have asked for a consequence of failure before sorry.
We would have come up with a good one if you failed.
Oh, I did fail.
Oh, I thought you said your ob was even. Okay.
Oh no, my op was actually
So-
5. It said 6, but my op was actually 5. But I still failed by 1. Actually, I can spend a fate to reroll one die.
failure, yeah.
So I'm gonna reroll 1 die with fate to see if I make it. I do not.
So close though. Jeez.
Fate is not with us today.
It's not.
Doesn't appear to be. Tell us exactly what the spell you're using does.
It would grant me the Preternaturally Calm trait for 1 conflict, which lowers my hesitation by 2.
Okay. Well, you are getting a fate for just getting you into trouble. That's something at least.
I'll spend money to make money, like I said. I mean, it could simply be the opposite. You know, my hesitation is increased by 2 or by 4 or something like that for you know, the conflict or whatever.
I think with this failure, that I don't want to. I'm gonna just simply have you make a steel test.
Cool. Let me mark the fact that I cast that spell really quick. Sorry. So I'm keeping track of what I cast. All right, steel test. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. There's my steel. Hot damn, is that a load of failures?
This is not
All right.
going well.
What was your what's your hesitation? What was your actual ob?
Hesitation is 5. I rolled 3 successes.
So
You
you
could still spend the hit point.
That is true. Well, I'd have to
20%
get.
chance or something.
Yeah. How many fate do I have? I only have 4 fate. I think I would have saved those fate. Well, fuck it. You know, sometimes you just gotta. Okay, all right. Well, okay. So I what? I hesitate for 1 action.
you have 2 hesitations, 1 per failure margin.
So 1, right? Because I rolled 4 successes.
Oh, did your fate got you 1? Nice. Yes, so you have 1 action of hesitation. Okay.
What do I do? So yeah, what do I do? I stand and drool. I think that makes sense. I was really invested in this, in trying to talk this guy down. I cast a spell. I'm just standing and drooling. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. So the others don't even notice that it's all in a flash. Faust's axe erupts with Asher's fire, and Ganelon stands and drools at the side of it as he rushes towards you, Dakath. And we bloody verses, unless you
I
Have
would
an
like
idea.
to clutch the hilt of my sword and sing the song of the sword to try and stupefy him.
And the rest of us.
I thought the sword disintegrated.
I have the hilt.
I am thinking you can sing that song no matter, like, just while wielding a melee weapon. Because it's
I
not
will
so
accept
much
your ruling.
it's not so much the song of the sword, it's that you are a sword singer. And it's the song of the sword, like of your heritage and your right to be a sword singer.
Okay.
It's not a literal
It-
a song of the
It
sword.
does say make the weapon a spirit blade.
Yeah.
So that doesn't say.
So which enchantment do you want to give it?
I think I'm just gonna go for Ob 2. Well, what is challenging?
It depends on what's your base of
My
summons.
it's a 6, a B6.
I'm trying to find that little chart. I want to save it in a more easy to access place. If you're a B6, you need an OB 7+ for challenging. Yeah. 5-6 is difficult. You're trying to get an advancement on it?
Yeah. Does the roll have to be successful for him to have to make the check to?
No. It'll just count. You'll
forward?
advance. You'll
Okay.
fail and you'll advance.
Then let's say Sunblade. Weapon length increased to longest.
It's a really good idea on a little knife.
Well, I think if I'm going for this, maybe I do grab the hilt and say, fuck it, maybe I'll get a lightsaber. And if a lightsaber happens on this roll, it's going to be fucking rad.
No, you know that the hilt, that sword is gone completely, unusable forever, unless you do like a major miracle on it.
Damn, okay.
You're stuck with your knife.
But to longest means, like, the weapon is getting magically longer, right?
Yeah, exactly. It still will basically be
Yeah.
a lightsaber.
Yeah. Okay. So on the knife, I can't fork anything because this is a skill or a spell song. How much Artha do you need in a thing to advance it, or what does having Artha in a thing get you?
If you want to shade, you would change the shade of the skill,
Okay,
and it requires 20, 10, and 3, I think.
gotcha. So a lot. So it's gonna be ob 8, not 7. For the Sunblade one.
Alrighty.
Alright. That's
Think you did it. Oh no, so close. We also didn't do a failure consequence first, though.
Oh shit. Okay,
Are you going to? Oh, it's
it's open already.
It's already
All
open.
the spell songs are open.
That means
Yeah.
you can spend a fate point to reroll 1.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't think it does. I don't think it does anything.
It'll
I
roll.
don't think that one explodes.
It'll roll your fate. But shouldn't that 6 have exploded?
It did.
Oh.
There's 7 dice in
okay.
that thing right
I
there.
see it. Yeah, you could do well. The whole point of rolling a fate on it is because in order to gray shade this, you need to spend 20 fate on this skill in the long run.
Yeah.
So
So I can still re-roll with a fate after even the open.
it'll roll your 1 failure because it's an already
Oh,
open ended,
it rolls. Okay.
and you got it.
Ooh.
So nice. So close though.
Damn. Yeah, I should have gone for the blood drinker.
Did it let you? Did it advance on your sheet or give you the option to?
No, I still have a
Oh.
one challenging and one difficult,
Oh, okay.
but that seemed like an appropriate time to do a challenging test. When yeah. But yeah.
So
Real intent of the roll is the Wonderment. Yeah.
we're just gonna keep it going, and I'm just gonna have you make a steel test.
Okay. For what?
Your failure of song.
Oh, okay. Cool. And is that like a hesitation, or what's the ob on this?
It'll automatically set it when you roll steel. It does. Yeah, it takes your hesitation, or 10 minus.
Okay.
10 minus speed is hesitation or something, and that is what it should automatically. It shouldn't matter what I have in the obstacle down at the bottom. Which will keep
Okay.
default as 1.
Yeah. I think I
Nice.
succeed on that one. Yeah.
Okay, so Lenora, you see that Faust and Dakath are about to come to blows. Dakath starts to sing, but I also remembered I'm kind of doing as a base ruling for your song is that your item, your weapon, even if you fail a song, will always become a spirit weapon and cause wonderment on a
okay.
success, but not a failure, but it'll still be a spirit weapon. And so it doesn't really necessarily matter against Faust, but your knife does glow with your song, but it doesn't have the effect that you actually thought it was going to have, or much more than other than now you know you at least have some defense against like supernatural predators, basically.
Gotcha.
Because I just don't like the I don't like that you can just fail your song like you're a sword singer. So
Yeah.
your knife
Wait, so
begins
you said
to.
he still
Oh, go ahead.
he still does have to roll wonderment, right?
No.
Oh, that was the question that I asked before, and
Actually-
I thought that the answer was
Oh, I misunderstood maybe when you said that. That is a good question.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
that
you
was-
have to succeed the song roll to cause wonderment.
yeah. Because before I picked the ob, that was why I was like, well, if he has to roll wonderment either way, I'll go for
Oh, I see.
the one that gives me the advancement stuff. But if I need to succeed to get the wonderment, then I would pick like ob 1.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, if you want to do just an ob 1 as the success, then that's fine.
Okay. Let me. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm gonna take that one fate back.
Okay, the test to the song must be successful for wonderment. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If
okay.
they stop singing,
Um,
wonderment and steal effect ends.
How do I need to remove that challenging test then as well.
I think you just right click it or something.
It's not letting me.
Alt click maybe?
Oh, it's okay. It's there. It's you gotta hover to the left of the.
Oh, I
of the
remember. Yeah.
dots. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So you get, what is
cool.
the ob 1 again for it? It just plus. Oh, I can't remember.
+1 weapon
That's
speed.
right. Okay. Knife is already fastest weapon speed.
Yeah, no, I just.
That's so funny. Yeah, you just need the wonderment, so he will roll.
I probably would have
steel.
picked 2, but like yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna roll.
It's all right.
Steel.
Just-
Hmm. He meets it exactly.
Damn.
And his face is just enraged, and his eyes are flame, and his sword blazes with white and orange flames and fires as he rushes towards you. Lenora, you have... Oh, shit. Lenora and Ganellan both have to roll steel against Wonderment.
Does our debt?
Yes, Arden does.
Which is obstacle. There's no additional obstacle, right?
No, because he met it...
Like usually you have
No.
to add the.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh, shit, it's
I
plus
guess if we're
6,
going
yeah.
For the, yeah, then 1 would be definitely the right choice. So yeah, his obstacle should have been 10.
Yeah, so he actually... I actually...
Good call.
4 of 10 successes. So he's hesitating for 6 seconds. Everyone else make a steal plus 6. And utterly fail. Dakath, you're just gonna stun everybody again. What's your plan?
I'm gonna disarm him. I'm gonna take the axe and maybe sit him on his ass.
Okay. We'll keep it simple. A touch attack is an ob 1 agility. And he is sitting there. Actually, I mean, it would make most sense for him to... Ooh, actually, okay. He drops to his knees, and tears streaming down his face. You see the fire is gone, and the axe laying at his feet is not lit anymore, and just in the snow, slightly sinking. You do hear kind of the sizzling as the heat of it burns into the snow, and he's just crying. What has become of me? I would slay my own allies? What? Please forgive me, Dakath. I am sorry. I don't know what got into me. It's like I wasn't myself for a moment.
Brother, this is a tense and terrifying time and place that we live and exist in, and we are all prone to extremes. I fear that our comrades at the camp will react in much the same way, and I will need your help to show them that we need not jump to violence.
Lady Amelise chose you as her protector, as her supreme guardian. I'm sure they will follow your command. And if not, I shall see to it that they do.
All I ask is that you stand by my side when we speak with the army and the leaders of the army.
He crosses his hand over his chest with a fist and says, I swear to it.
We're both out of our stupor now, right?
Yeah. Lenora, you rolled 9 successes. That's insane.
Yeah. Sometimes the dice work when you don't need them to. Lenora is going to exchange a look with Ganelon and lower her axe, for she was on the verge of beheading Rudolph if he didn't comply.
Peppers run hot here in the light of Asher's raging fire. Perhaps we should move on. Move away from this place.
Indeed.
No good has come of it. It has set us against each other and made us doubt ourselves, perhaps even doubt our faith.
Truly.
Okay, you move off, kind of following the edge of the wood, staying not too far but not too close to it. You have a fairly narrow path following its edge. And you see now that out in the outlands, what was this burst of ice and spikes coming out and almost looked plant-like, this massive growth in the ground. Ganelon, you traveled the Outlands for some time before entering the Grove, and when you entered the Grove, the Outlands were as you've always known them, grassy, deserty, small oasis here and there, traveling bands of nomads. It has maybe never had snow before in the past at all, and now it just looks like a tundra with these mountainous shards emerging from the ground, and looks like some kind of growth or vegetables emerging from the ice and part of the ice. And it is massive in the sky. Like, no matter where you go, you're heading you're heading east, more towards where the church was. You know, you only walked for about an hour and a half or two. And before you entered the Grove days ago, this growth was only barely seen as a small egg of sorts. And now it towers where you can see it above the tree line, no matter how far away you seem to get from it.
So the Outlands now look like a tundra, and there's this weird ice plant growth that is towering into the sky.
Yes,
Correct?
It looks like this.
Sweet.
Wow.
It just is it looks like a bomb went off and was frozen in place. And it's just taller than the tallest mountain which surround the Outlands.
Has Ardennes spotted it?
She's very sullen for the whole walk. She glances around occasionally, but she doesn't seem to pay it any mind.
Ardennes,
Yes, my lord.
tell me more. Please don't call me that.
But it is true. And I sent you to save me, to show me what she has created and what it is we fight to preserve. Her power here is raw. I can feel it. The roots, they reach for her. She must be coming.
Was Ardennes the person who mentioned the possibility of Auntie and Asher being one?
No. She's clearly refers to them as two separate entities.
Gotcha.
You approach the church, and it's a bustle of activity. It is also becoming kind of still a bit of a tundra everywhere you go now. Snow is covering everything. The fortifications are coming along. There's a bustling of soldiers wearing Golden Army placards or tabards and raising fences and trying to put spikes along the walls, and they don't have a lot to work with, but they've begun cutting down trees from the forest. The fire, you can tell it's still going on, but it doesn't appear to have reached the very outskirts of the forest. But the whole trip, you can still smell the smoke of the burning wood, and it does appear to be getting stronger. The church is on the edge of the wood, but not in such a proximity to that even if the whole wood went ablaze, it would catch the church on fire either. It doesn't appear to be quite as many of the Golden Army soldiers here as when you left, as you move through it. And you find that the main temple is on heavy guard, and in it they are doing prayer.
there's a priest, right? That we saved.
Yeah, I've lost his name. What the heck? He should be here. 1 second, sorry.
McCallan, the priest of Asher.
Yes. Oh, I see him. He was in Avatars. Okay. He's your father is in there as well, just simply as an attendant to the sermon. There's not too many other people, but they all appear to be the only people here are those who were of the Golden Army. There's actually there probably actually would be a group at this point of just 2 messengers that are clearly not with the Golden Army, but appear to be wearing local Dalaran garb. You can assume they're from you would assume they're from the surrounding lands, or possibly Odenkirk, even the way they're lightly armored, but not really. So you can tell they're clearly messengers. And they're over speaking with Malcolm, kind of briskly, with their horses being tended to behind them and just held off to the side. They don't appear to be trying to take the horses away from them, but they're in heated conversation with Malcolm.
I would approach them then.
As you walk up to them, you overhear the conversation a little bit, and they're saying that Odenkirk is under attack. The siege has begun. They were sent here to speak to Gerard about the supply line that was being set up and that it's been broken by this attack. Cisabella is mentioned, and Malcolm simply states,
Is she there, or has she gone off to do something else?
one of the messengers asks where the same thing essentially as you're walking up, and you hear him say that they rode west into the Outlands 2 days before. She went with a small band.
Did they say where?
She was seeking out one of the bands of those who wander the barren plains. She was seeking allyship. She thought perhaps their rune casters might be able to explain what's been happening the past few days. This snow is unnatural. It's covering the lands. Odenkirk has never fallen before. It will not fall now. You must send your soldiers there to help defend the wall. We ride to Dalaran from here to gather more. Odenkirk is the key to the east. Without it, all the lands and homesteads will fall to the Thomists. Malcolm turns to you and says, "Tell us of your return. Tell us of what happened. You've been gone for near a week." We thought you dead.
The forest was teeming with followers of Anti. Great beasts and monstrosities.
Then it is only by Asher's grace that
We
you
are one
survived.
less. Yes, we are one less than when we set out.
He looks around.
Our
Lord
dwarf-
Dekath?
Our dwarf friend.
A brief relief goes over his face, but then it's
Oh,
replaced with grief and pity. And I am sorry that he was lost. He was a good and stout heart. He lay beside the feet of the Lord Asher now.
The forest burns with the rage of Asher.
Aye, that is good then. It will burn away all of her followers, which lay in there.
Perhaps, but they are everywhere, and she gestures out towards the. I'm guessing we can still see that thing growing in the outlands from here.
Yeah.
Just gestures out towards that. They're everywhere.
They spell some kind of doom. Lord Gerard says they're the tendrils of the earth. They reach out to act as footholds for Anti's approach to this plane. I know not what we can do about it. Only Asher can defy this. We must find the scythe. Did you find the scythe? He's like exasperated, and the
It was
messengers.
not within the grove.
Damn it all. I agree that Odenkirk
We
cannot
do
fall,
have-
but I have nary a force to send to its aid. We need a scouting force to go and see what we're up against there.
How long can they hold out?
I cannot say. If they
See-
bring more of these beasts of
siege
Anti with them, the walls could be breached easily, I imagine. Though the tower has never fallen to any human army in history. I do not know what we can do about things such as this, and he like motions off to the growth reaching towards the sky. Your father and I can manage holding the Eastern Realm. Perhaps you should seek Cisabella, see to her safety. The army has declared her as our new general. She will lead the forces against the Thomists. Her axe still glows with Asher's grace.
We have to travel westward. Anyways. So she would be in our path.
While Cisabella is an asset to the cause, it is my belief that ultimately you will come to know what I know, and that is Lenora is Asher's chosen. And should lead.
This is not the time for such debates. We're here to save lives.
I agree that we need not debate now, but they must understand that it is what I see as reality, and that I am certain they will come to know as well.
The two, like, messengers kind of seem almost excited and a little taken aback by your statement. They kind of mutter between each other. You can't make out what they're saying. Malcolm looks upon Lenora with pride and says, "It is well known that she who holds the scythe holds the heart of Asher. The chosen one is the one who wields it. I have faith that you will find it, for your heart is pure, and your deeds noble, and you act with honor and without expectation." See, Sibella, while a mighty believer, will never have your grace, young Lenora. But I recommend you rely on her greatly to lead your army, should you in fact be the chosen one of Asher. And if it is in fact she who is chosen, then I would ask that you obey her every word as well, such as I will, and every man and woman who follows Asher's heart.
We will only know the answer to this when we find the holy weapon.
Faust turns to
Till
you.
then, we are all equals.
Equals amongst the followers of Asher, yes. Faust steps forward. But those who do not follow her will and her glory are the enemy, and everyone knows that the enemy must burn and be slain. There's something I must attest to. It would be against my honor to try and hide it. We have brought something else with us from the grove. An elf with the exact appearance of Lady Amelise.
If you intend to burn this woman, just say it now.
I've sworn to Lord Dakath that I would do no such thing, and I will aim to prevent it from happening. But as Lord Malcolm here is regent for the army in Cisabella's absence, the decision lays with him. And a bit of a crowd has started to kind of gather around you. There's only about 25 people in this whole encampment, with the ones that aren't here anymore. You just kept Ardennes with you and Hood up, I imagine? Or did Ganelon, take her somewhere? What are you doing, Ganelon? Through all this?
I mean, I imagine I'm probably staying fairly close by Lenora. For now, I mean, I don't know this. I don't. Lenora is the only person that I know here, so I think I'm probably kind of sort of champing at the bit a bit, honestly, to move on from these dire portents and get on the road. But yeah, so I don't think I haven't settled in or anything like that. I'm probably hanging out with Lenora. As far as Arden, she is wherever we left her, I guess.
Dakath input? She would just stick by Dakath's side if you didn't tell her to not do so. So did you just all walk right up to
Yeah, I would
Malcolm?
assume that she was. Yeah.
So she just reveals herself, takes her hood down. There's gasps throughout the crowd. Many of them fall to their knees, if not absolutely all of them, except the messengers. What summoning or is this? You've brought back the Chosen. You haven't found the Scythe, but you've found the Chosen One herself. Praise Asher, this is a miracle.
It is not a miracle. She is not Asher's Chosen.
How can you say that? Look at her. It is exactly as everyone's
This is-
last seen her.
This is the sister of Amelise.
Yes, I've done more than just see her. I have spoken to her. And if you would do so, you would find her to be not the Chosen of Asher, but the Chosen of Auntie.
She's...
And before you jump to conclusions, she does not wish the harm that you might assume.
There's angry murmuring all around as the knights slowly rise and just confused. Some take steps back. A few yell out some angry words. Malcolm has a grim look on his face as he rises, looking at you, holding your eyes Dakath and looking at her face and back. You would corral with the enemy. You claim you've brought back the Chosen One of the devil herself, the one who plagues these lands with ice and bitter wind. You claim to support the Chosen One of Asher and yet convoy with her enemy. This thing, this damned recreation of our Chosen One, of Lady Amelise Le Argent. No, we cannot allow her to live. He draws his axe.
If you point to the weather and the situation as a sign of her evil, then you should know that it was the will of Asher that destroyed the forest, which presumably led to these conditions. And that as the heart of the grove, Arden was responsible for the privileged situation we found ourselves in prior to the snowfall.
This all started long before you entered the grove. If it was Asher's will that it burn, then that must be for the greater good. These roots that reach towards the sky, they're clearly of Anti. The forest was likely supporting them. You should have let this thing burn in there with it. And he...
Let us step inside and discuss this.
If the Chosen of Auntie is such a threat, then how come you had never heard of her existence before?
There was no need to know of her existence. Asher was reigning supreme. They were obviously hiding her deep in the forest where none could find her, regaining power with this aim to take the plane. We're in the middle.
She knows not of the Thomists.
The Thomists serve Anti. They've likely been searching for her as well. Perhaps you're correct in this. We will not jump to conclusions. We will take her and use her as a bartering tool in the defense of Odenkirk. And he raises his hand and motions for guards to approach and, take hold of her.
Wait. Arden is a powerful weapon of Auntie. Yes. Why burn her? Why give her away? Keep her safe here with us. Let us commune. Let us come to terms. Let us come to an agreement. Yes, a fool only a fool throws away the weapons of his enemy. Yes, you say that we need. You say that we need soldiers and swords to fight at Odenkirk, and you say that we need to find the scythe, and you say that we need this and that, and we need many things. Yes, here is a sword who is willing to serve with us. You would be a fool to throw her away, and I think I'd like to test some, if I may, rhetoric. I think I'm making a reasonable argument to try to get this person to pipe down and stop trying to do things with this person that he doesn't know, and let us handle it.
Perception of the victim. Okay. Let's see. Malcolm's perception is 5.
Okay. I don't have rhetoric, so I'm going to cast the second ardent thought, which is allows me to use
Academic.
sorcery instead of an academic skill such as rhetoric. So this is just going to be breadth of me and a duration of 1 test. So it's just the obstacle of the test. So this is an obstacle 5.
So if it fails,
Yes.
they are going to disarm all of you and put you all into chains.
Okay. That seems bananas. Let's do it. Anyone want to assist?
Yeah.
I think I'm hearing lots of assists all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's tell this person. Let's not convince this person. Let's help this person come to the conclusion on their own, the rational conclusion that they need to shut up and let us do what we do. I'm rolling 7 dice. I'm going to throw on some persona because while this doesn't have anything to do with any of my beliefs, it is obstructing us from attending to matters that are in my belief. So I'm going to throw a persona on there.
But you have to cast the spell before we can help you with the rhetoric, correct?
I think this is. I think the sorcery is the.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sorcery acts as the skill.
Got it.
May I fork in persuasion to this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm checking 9 dice against an obstacle 5.
We are here to look at everybody by the miracles of Asher. Do not forget what Asher brought down to save this temple from its corruption. Do not forget that Asher brought down the forest and yet saved its heart.
That is a
So
solid art.
that is my contribution of oratory.
I love it.
Some good embodiment.
And then for my help,
Song of Sword, Wonderment.
no, it's soothing platitudes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, like Malcolm, you are known for your level head. Just think about this, please.
Okay, I should be rolling 9 dice then. It said there's a button that says accept help. I don't know if you guys have
You
kicked some sort of like help.
No, you
I
actually need
just
to
put in
add
2
two
bonus.
more from. I don't think it'll do it
Okay, great.
automatically.
You have to click accept help and then add our help in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've clicked accept help, and then I've added 2 bonus dice. Great.
Yes.
So, yeah, 9 dice. Against obstacle 5.
So many ones, but so many fours too.
There we go. 6 successes.
He makes another gesture, and the knights around you hold, and he kind of eyes all of you. Looks at Faust. Perhaps you are right. We will trust in Asher and in your judgment. Let's hope it does not fail us entirely. Seek out Cisabella in the wilderness. Find out what those things are, maybe. Destroy them, but most of all, find the scythe.
Yes, we know where the scythe is. You command no one here.
What?
Be silent.
I command the army. Who is this small man that you have brought back with you?
Are we talking to the temple priest?
No.
This is the general of the army.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
He's more
I'm
like
so
the
sorry.
regent.
I thought we were talking.
Oh, no.
To the local priest.
No, so there was the chapel where the priest was holding service with Lenora's father there, and then there were the 2 messengers talking with Malcolm, and so Malcolm is kind of a grizzled, veteran-looking man who is always wearing some armor.
Malcolm was the chapel priest.
Trying to
Gotcha.
find his. Oh, here we go.
Let me. I will walk back that lip then.
Malcolm is quite grizzled, and is obviously battle scarred. And they've spoken of Faust essentially referenced him as being the regent in charge without Cisabella around, who is now named Guardian, essentially.
Sorry, who's Cisabella? Who's Cisabella? And also, apparently, my dad's maybe do something about that, but again, not part of my belief. So, who's Cisabella?
He's here in our father is here in the church.
Okay.
So what happened was when we first came to this temple, it was being used by the followers of Anti, and they were about to sacrifice the priest. And they had like a troll, they had a wolf, they had all kinds of crazy, horrible things in there.
Yeah, this is where I died and came back.
Yes, the troll stabbed Dakath, and he was being melted by the black rust. And
Gross.
so we called upon a major miracle, I believe, and the form of the miracle was that one of the angels or avatars of Asher possessed Cisabella, who was just another one of these Crusader knights. And because she was possessed, she's decided that she was the chosen one.
Oh, fun.
So I think
we've let her believe this. Well, Dakath hasn't. I have let her believe this because why not?
so. Your Ganelon, your history as an educated and faithful man, you would know that there were basically 6 Crusaders in the Golden Army, one of which was labeled as Amalisa's like personal number 1, and then there were 5 generals. And so you would have heard of Cisabella and known her offhandedly as one of Amalisa's generals of the Golden Army. But you wouldn't, kind of know as much about her as you wish to know about her. You could open a wise about her if you really wanted to. So,
Yeah.
So after this, we should rest, we should eat, and we should talk to our father. And perhaps Malcolm, you will sit with us to dine with what simple fare there is.
If I have time, I shall join you. See that this elf makes no trouble. And then she kind of looks to Dakath's eyes. You maybe not know which elf he's talking about. And then he says, I must tend to this issue at Odenkirk. I will likely ride to Dalaran in the morning.
Very well. We will head westward as soon as we can.
Just gives you a head nod and kind of disperses the crowd, barks at them a little bit, gets them back to work. And just moving forward, you enter the church where the session has kind of ended. People are coming out of it. Arden has put her hood back up. She kind of seems to be able to make herself almost small and without notice, moving very inconspicuously beside and behind Dakath a bit. And Gerard comes out and sees you. Looks almost giddy at the sight of you, where he'd been somber but a moment before after the service, and hugs you, and then sees Ganelon, and his eyes go wide. What are you doing here?
I'm curious. I'm curious. When he enters my presence, how that changes, right? Because I have aura of curious, like how his giddiness might be affected by me being cursed.
Do I roll straight steel? I can't remember.
You can do whatever you want.
No, it has an actual effect.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's steel. Yeah. You don't need to do it. You just say something happens. I mean, you're the GM. For all I know, maybe he's passed it once, and this isn't a thing anymore. I guess that's what I'm asking. Is like.
Oh, I forgot about that stipulation in it. Yeah, he would not be affected by you then. He's been around you your whole life. Dude, but that's. I am going to roll against it because that should have been the first thing that happened, like when you entered the conversation with him and all the people around. So I'm going to roll it for the general as you move into the church. And so Gerard is there, sees you, and eyes go wide, unexpecting to see you completely. How long has it been since you've seen him even?
I think I probably came home after school, and then was like, I can't do this. This is not. I don't belong here anymore. I'm cursed. I gotta go. So it's probably been 6 years. Maybe 7 years. Oh, it's probably been 7 years.
He stands stunned, staring at you. And, my son. He grasps your
did
shoulder.
Not find Henri in the forest.
What?
But another brother.
That means they've taken him towards the church, near the Pirates' Cove.
Which of my siblings is this?
Henry. Amalith's betrothed.
The oldest, the heir.
I see. Gotcha. Thank you. Yes, well. Capable man, no doubt. Father,
are you hungry?
You.
Are you staying the eve this eve?
Today is I believe that we should be leaving for Miskolc as soon as we're able, but
Agreed.
we have had a harrowing experience in the forest, so leaving in the morning is not out of the question.
Are you wounded at all? What have you faced in there? Come, this way. He takes you into a large tent that's been set up for him that could easily fit all of you. It has seating area, little mounds of dirt covered with straw have been kind of erected. They have some wooden furniture, but not much. They're clearly doing some logging, even as you speak. It's getting more into the evening. I see you went into the forest and brought out not just one unexpected visitor, but two, and you have lost Lord Ivo. Is he... And he just kind of stops mid-sentence and...
He shall not be returning.
I see. May he always walk with Asher.
He would prefer to walk his own way.
What is it that takes you into Miskolc? Why there?
The Drachmaria holds the scythe in their Ember Vault. And of course we need the scythe.
What? How could
It's
they
not
have
just
obtained
that,
it?
we need I do not know. Something that we can ask them if it becomes relevant.
They're likened to
We
have it
must
under
have the scythe
strict guard.
Take it from them. Preferably, we will take it from them once I become Archmagician.
So that's what this is all about. As usual, your
No, it isn't.
reputation.
It's about Asher. It is about the scythe. It is about chosen. It is not about me, Father, or you.
You kind of-
I have given you no reason to think as much. Whatever accusations you throw at me now, they're not grounded in reality. You should consider this before speaking again. Thank you.
You have always ridden on the coattails of your siblings' greater prowess through these living times.
That is not the case now.
Earned my way into the Drachmaria. I graduated out of the Drachmaria. I'm a Drachmarian magician. I rode on no coattails.
If you can take the seat of Archmagician, then I hope you do it, my son. But it will not be as simple as you make it out to be, or as I'm sure you think it to be. There's a great force at the heart of the Drachmaria. Deep within that Ember Vault lie many things other than the scythe, such as you claim. I would not traverse it so willingly or so boldly, perhaps.
Do you see boldness in me? Do you see me thinking? Do you see me nonchalant, Father?
I think you can be seen as whatever you wish to be seen as, my son. And I would be honored to have the patronage of the Archmagician of the Drachmaria. But don't get your sister or yourself killed in the process of such greatness. Auntie will come whether you're the Archmagician or not. Whether you bear that title bears no true meaning of your personal power.
Father, you weary me now much as you did when I was a child. Morning shall not come too soon.
I shall have...
Is there a tent
I'll have
that I
him-
may share, or a perhaps monk's cell that I may make use of this evening? I have some work I need to begin.
If you wish for privacy, I can have some arrangements made. Many are sleeping in the church, but they would likely give up their bed if I asked them to. Or if they were commanded to
Don't
by
let anyone else.
higher station. Looks at Dakath. Lenora, of course, you will stay here. You and this woman. I'll find other accommodations. I think your mic broke up, Nathan. I think you said something I couldn't hear what.
Oh, I just said as far as fathers go, he's quite disappointed.
Is this a what now?
He's quite disappointing.
Yeah, it cuts
As far as fathers go.
cuts off randomly sometimes.
Oh, weird. How about that? Is that better?
Seems so.
Alright.
So anyway, he offers his quarters to the women and leaves to sleep in the church for the night, and can have some minor shelter pulled up for you if you wish. What do you wish to do before morning? Anything else, anybody?
There's a few things I want to do, but I need to take a minute break.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
same.
let's leave it to Ganelon to. He's got some magic stuff to do. We could get that done first.
Yeah, let me. I need a couple moments, and then I'll be right back and do some enchanting.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll come back.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Reed, what was it he said before looking to Koth?
He indicated
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, he was asking me.
I was just asking my question real quick.
He indicated that you're just of a higher station, and you could boss people around essentially in the Golden Army. You're still considered as much one of the generals as the others were, but there's also, obviously, as you've encountered, minor suspicion towards you as well, and a little bit of resentment due to the situation.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, be back in 5
See you back in a
minutes.
few.
and really kind of out of the wearer. I mean, you really can't necessarily predict a storm. Get what use you can, but anyways. So external duration none. Trigger must be touching the target, so that's +1 ob. I do want to be able to recharge it, and then my enchanted skill is 5. So right now I'm looking at a total obstacle of 5 dice, 1 from the antecedent trait, die trait, 2 from internal duration of specific physical condition, and 5 from my enchanted. So dice against 8 dice against an obstacle of 5.
Failure consequence.
Don't think I have any. Well, let me ask you a question. I want to make an argument for forking in aura reading, and here's why. Because some of the aura reading obstacles are about seeing the past, future. Because this is dreaming, and I'm trying to understand, essentially things far away, things past or future that Auntie may be planning or putting in motion. I'm wondering if aura reading can count as a fork, and if that's too much of a stretch, that's fine.
No, I think that makes sense. I like it makes sense with those obs that go with it. You are an aura reader, so you have insight and just this unnatural power that connects you to things like this.
So 9 dice against obstacle 5. What happens if I bungle this?
Well, my first thought, and I'll let you, argue with this if you think it's too much, or if you'd want to see what happens, is you would gain I think it's the possessed trait.
I will tell you right now, I do not want that
Okay.
as a player. I think it's super fun, but because I'm just getting my feet in the game, I want to be in command of my own beliefs.
I can't remember. Do you remember if it adds a belief or?
No, you get to choose one of mine to replace.
Oh no! See, I thought it just gave you a 4th belief. No, okay, I don't want to do that.
No, it's super fun, but I'm still kind of what the fuck is going on.
I don't want to change anyone's beliefs. I thought it added, the possession belief just to give you something else to play on. Let's see. I think then. So, it's going to work either way.
That's the scary thing,
and
right? It's going to work either way.
Right. I kind of almost want to say that you will also gain the dreamer trait on a failure, which, kind of like you say, is perhaps both good and bad.
It sounds pretty good, honestly.
So you're enchanting the item specifically to see the memories of the lore master through dreams, essentially, right?
I'm enchanting it to gain visions. To gain visions of my belief is to gain visions of Auntie's machinations. So whatever those dreams, memories, or whether that's something else, is up to you. But I'm enchanting it to give me visions, or to give the wearer visions of Auntie's machinations.
So yeah, you're going to get a dreamer trait, but I'll tell you, it will only ever be bad things caused by anti, essentially.
Okay. So I'm just gonna have shitty sleep for the rest of my life.
I have a feeling you'll succeed with 9 dice, but you never know. Lenora rolled 1 success on 9 dice last session.
I did indeed.
Debating if I want to throw persona on this. I'm kind of like saving up all of my persona for like sorcery,
Hmm.
TBH. So I'm just gonna go for it. It's fine. It's fine. Oh
Oh
fuck.
no. Oh, so close. What's
That's bad.
happening? Oh my god.
4 successes, obstacle 5. I'm gonna re-roll with fate. Oh hell yes.
Look at that.
Okay, good.
So, barely got it. That's awesome. And a 6 of all things.
I forget that I can. I will also say that this actually is gonna, because it's 5. This actually can take me 5 days. So I'm not doing
Oh,
this all
interesting.
right now. This is stuff that I'm going to be working on, basically in the evenings while we travel.
Perfect. Okay. Morning arrives.
Oh, I wanted to do some things before.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Yeah, what's Lenora doing?
But what does Dekath want to do? I just want to see if you want to do anything.
I'm probably standing guard outside of your all's room wherever you're sleeping, because there's part of me that doesn't believe we'll get through the night without some sort of attempt on Arden's life, at least, you know?
Makes sense. What condition is Gwynmira in?
Gwynmira is a little shaken, but otherwise no worse for the wear, it would seem. The marks on her neck are gone. She appears in normal health. She's eating normally, but not much.
Okay. And based on our travels, you know, I mean, we are not beholden to take her with us any further. I'm wondering if we can leave her with the priest. So she's in condition to travel. She could travel with us.
Yeah. She would want to not be left, you know, amongst strangers after the ordeal.
Not be left behind. Okay.
She, even if you roleplay, if you talk to her at all, she essentially, her whole she's upset that the whole point of going into the forest was to get to Eger, and you just literally ended up right back where you were. It was like time froze, but didn't. And so she's
Does
still
she remember anything that? Does she remember anything that happened to her?
everything. It's like a dream that haunts me. I can picture it all. I can feel it all.
You're lucky to be alive.
Yes, and now I only wish to be home. Perhaps the dwarves can be rallied to help with this siege on Odenkirk. We should go to Eger and...
What status do you hold there?
Well, I'm a prolific member within the Thieves Guild. Everyone knows it's they who run the city, in truth. But I do come from a noble house as well, though did not leave on good terms with my father.
So it would not be an easy feat to bring them to our side.
And before you left, though, you did, I believe your father told you that there was a force going towards Eger. You know that the Thomists were like were also going there was rumors on the wind. He could feel it through his mark.
Our path does not lie that way. We may get there,
You are,
but we must through the outlands.
Eager is only a week's travel north of Miskolc. I would stay with you if I could. If I'm left behind, I might never leave the eastern lands. There would be no one to take me there and seek aid from my people.
And you would help us to seek aid from your people.
Of course.
Then you'll stay with us.
To
But
in
try
honor
not to get possessed.
in honor of Master Ivo, I would do anything that you ask of me. You rescued me from that place. I know it wasn't your intent for any of that to happen when we entered.
There are many others who did not make it out.
I would join you.
Okay. That's great. Okay, so she's sorted out. I still want to talk to the priest if he's available.
Yeah, you could find him in the church.
There are matters of history of the past that I would have us discuss.
Of course, daughter of Asher. I can share what I know. Though it appears you have a deeper relationship with the goddess than most.
And now I'm not thinking of the goddess, but of mankind.
Oh?
So there has been times, there must have been, when these gods were not warring as such.
The power of the gods has always waxed and waned. Asher has been the most powerful for some time, as long as our history tells. Sometimes there are more than just the two powers of light and dark, though those are the old tales. And even before any of this were the primal spirits which formed this land, before the gods found it and figured out ways to travel here.
I wonder if there are some histories that we might find or uncover.
There are always mysteries.
I believe that the Thomists have corrupted the worship of Anti. And I fear that some followers of Asher have done the same.
Antai is a goddess of darkness and shadow. It is the light's job to drive such things out and away. This world will be better off without her. Whether the Thomists follow true to her words or not, she is the antithesis of everything we believe in, everything you are empowered by. There can only be Asher.
This temple is like pretty old, right? Has anything survived from when the enemy had it, like in terms of tomes or documents?
Yeah, I think you could definitely do some kind of read test or even temple wise if you wanted to actually create information.
Like a history test?
Yeah, I mean, any of those work really. Let's see what history obs are. Honestly, well, temple wise would be creating something about this temple, but you could just use that to create a fact for us potentially. And history.
I'm looking at I think classical history. That's what I think I'm looking for.
Yeah, that does seem pretty on point compared to the rest of them. Obscure figure in history, history of counterculture movements, history of the ones who lost the war. Yeah, let's do classical history ob 2.
And what I'm looking for is essentially um and it seems clear from meeting Amelisa's sister that there is some balance that needs to be maintained or restored. And so I'm looking for history of times of balance, times when it wasn't just these two forces fighting so horribly.
Okay, you'll on a failure, you will find out a lot of just negative information that you may not like.
Can I fork in doctrine and harvest god wise?
Yeah, I think those both work. So 4 dice.
And what about temple wise?
I think temple wise definitely can apply fork.
Okay.
You can technically, I mean, you could use read wise also because you're pouring through volumes and volumes. I may actually say too, on a failure, you don't even sleep this night.
Sounds like none of us are sleeping, even though we probably need it. Okay, I'm going to roll and see what happens.
Oh yeah, you got
Oh, very nice.
20. So you discover even text older than you thought might be here, some of which obviously haven't even been looked at in quite some time. Very dust-ridden. And you read of a time when the world was young and there were 2 goddesses who ruled over this world and battled against the very powers of nature themselves and cleared the path for living beings to be able to flourish. And they each created entities in their own images which were nearly identical though one was dark and one was light. And from Anti sprang the elves and the dwarves, the trolls, the orcs, the goblinoids, the creatures that crawl, the creatures that squirm, the creatures that need no light at all. And plants grew to protect these creatures, and forests were grown tall and wide, sprawling the lands where life flourished. Asher created man, and created the sexes, and created lust and envy and passion and hate and emotional fortitude, and instilled all of this into man and gave them the choice to be good or be evil. And then she gave them her inner fire and a piece of her life, and they were the dominant species, and they drove out Anti's creations into the underdark spaces. And the primal forces have been kept at bay by the balance that was found. But you know that if this balance is broken, that they'll gain a foothold again, and turbulence will shake the globe. And maybe nothing living will survive.
Whoa. I don't think she's getting much sleep anyway after that. Okay, that's something to discuss on our travels.
Dakath, you somewhat easily keep yourself up, patrolling on alert, and it seems as if they're giving you space. You get sidelong glances and glares, but no one comes within 20 feet of Gerard's tent where the two women are staying. And, well, Lenora has not been there all night and doesn't even come back till dawn is already creeping into the sky. The aerial phenomena that continues is just a sight to behold. The sky is full of white meteors, all seeming to be converging into a single point far off in the skyline along the western shore. And in between it and you, this massive growth, just almost with an iridescent glow the entire night, reflecting off the snow and the light from the stars and the comet streaking overhead. You feel like, and you see that not many people are sleeping this night. And you might imagine that this camp hasn't been sleeping very well since you left a week before.
And the sun isn't coming out, right?
No. But it is brighter than you remember. And you also notice that even overnight, the fire is creeping towards you through the flame, or through the forest. The flames are spreading slowly towards you. And it is creating more light, reflecting off the snow in a way, creating this eerie glow of two light sources kind of battling. And we can either stop and do Artha there, or we could move quickly into something else. Oh, 10 till. How long do you want to do?
It's probably a good spot for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good stopping point. Just we should say that we've set out on the road.
Yeah, totally. That's kind of what I meant. Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's do some Artha. Let's start with Dakath. Going down the list.
Yeah, the belief one. Protecting her from the Golden Army. If we say we have moved on, then I guess that's accomplished.
Yeah, you were as a group, anyways. At least you prevented them from taking you all into holding, essentially, or killing her outright.
Yeah, and there was the bit with Faust. I was starting to try and talk to Arden more about the shared role in the prophecy, but I don't think I got there.
Sounds like a faith, or I mean a fate.
Okay. And then making the case before the Golden Army that Lenore is the Asher's chosen. I think I did that.
Yeah. It caused a good conversation and almost led to danger.
Instinct was never hide from a fight. I don't know if that got me in trouble.
Well,
Instinct 2 got into trouble.
yeah, I think it did because
Yeah.
you stood up to Faust and very easily could have died to his enchanted axe.
True. Okay. Never hide who I am. Debatable.
I don't know. It really came into
That's kind
play.
of-
Well, kind of when you're the whole interaction.
Yeah, that's kind of like,
I think
Yeah.
because it went well for you though. I don't think it really counts.
okay.
And preserve your arms and armor definitely got you one
Yeah.
because you are swordless. I guess we should make sure. Did you take a new
Oh, yeah,
sword
grab a
from the
sword.
armory?
Yeah. Yep. I would have done that before standing watch.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Cool. Ganelon. Oh, and your character
Wait,
traits.
Paranoid. Yeah. Paranoid, staying up to watch at the cost of sleep.
Mm.
Is that fate?
Well, I'm bummed for not putting something there just to trigger that, but we could have you roll a fort to stay awake with a negative to start the next session, and maybe you collapse halfway through the night, and then maybe something does happen at the start of the session.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
We got other things we want to do.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna do it. It's not worth a fate.
Yeah, no, I don't think that really came into play. I like you're playing it out, but it didn't actually benefit you this time.
Oh, is that the character trait has to okay.
Yeah, it's like an instinct, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Ganelon, you're next.
Okay. Anti will doom the world unless they take control of the atavistic drop Maria. I will safeguard my companions through the Outlands to Mistcloak. I have not yet done that. I think that I have contributed to getting us on the road, but I haven't done that. To lead Asher's armies against Andy as chosen, my sister must bear her scythe. I will help Lenora take it. Nope. A wise leader finds his enemies' weapons and power. I enchant an arcane instrument using the antecedent from the spiteful eyes. Done. I'll take a persona for that.
I think you played the other two.
I think that the first one I could see maybe fate work. I feel like I was really kind of pushing us to like to go. Like we don't have time to talk with this like general who's just trying to send us in 5 different directions. Like let's just move it. I could see a fate for that personally. I don't know the second belief though. So for beliefs, is that one fate, one persona, GM?
Yeah, at least I'm debating even on the second one. That's kind of what I said at the beginning of the session. Was they both kind of tie in? They're like similar agendas, and so
You played the second.
you
one
played the whole
because
session. You're like, we
Yeah.
cannot be distracted. We need to get out of here before someone makes us go somewhere else that we're trying to get to.
Sure, yeah, that's a good point. I think it's still because they kind of double up in that sense. I think one fate is still appropriate.
Sure.
In my opinion. Instincts. When discourse turns to violence. Yes, I failed that. It got me in trouble. I was not able to help with a fight
Yeah, that one's
where I could have
definitely-
helped. I could have helped by slinging flames at people who needed to be flamed, or cursing them to be clumsy. I will take a fate for that. Character traits did not come into play. Smoky and spooky. I was not smoky, nor was I spooky, but I think I was kind of irritable with my. And it occurs.
I think we were all smoky.
Good point. Yes. After that forest fire, it occurs to me about my dad. So I bought him as like a positive relationship, but one, he's kind of a jagweed, and I think that having a relationship with Henry might actually help drive the story a little bit more. Would you mind if I changed that from a relationship with my dad, who I don't actually have a relationship with, to Henry?
Sure.
Sweet. That sounds like fun. All right, that's it for me.
Okay, and Lenora.
Okay. Holy Mother Asher rages against Auntie to recover her holy weapon and miscult. We must first cross the Outlands. We're just moving towards it. The forces of Auntie possess incredible power, and we must rejoin with the army to plan our resistance. We did that.
Yep.
Gwynmira has been saved, but at the cost of many. I will make her an ally to bring the dwarves of Eager to our side. Well, I've made her an ally,
She's
so I just have to rewrite that belief.
super willing,
To like, now I have to keep her alive.
desperate
right?
to not be
That's
left
the belief.
behind. Yeah. Stop Gwynmira from dying one time.
Yes. Again.
Fate Farm. Yeah.
Instincts. I don't think that I think she was speaking with brutal honesty, but I don't think it caused trouble really. Because we were in a constant trouble,
Yeah.
awkward situation. So I will stop with 1 and 2.
And then brutal, honored, and righteous. No, not too much.
Yeah, they just haven't. They've mattered, but this just informs how to roleplay the character, not exactly how it
Yeah.
hasn't changed the story.
Well, I was thinking righteous almost came into play just because of the interaction with Faust, but it would have had to
Yes,
been more of a
thinking
duel of wits
brutal.
than a fight at that point.
I was thinking brutal because she was gonna she would have beheaded.
Oh,
him.
that yeah. If that had triggered, then definitely that would have been interesting.
I would like to nominate Nathan for having the right skill at the right time to save us from getting into a duel of wits with Malcolm.
Which one was it? Did it? I thought that his.
When he cast the spell, the rhetoric spell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I think it's interesting because that I think that if it hadn't been sorcery, I don't think I would have succeeded because it hadn't been open ended. So I think because it was open ended sorcery. That's what got us over the finish line, I think.
So how does that sound?
I'll take it, unless there are objections.
No, I think that's a great idea.
I think it's a fate. I think it's a fate.
And I would like to also nominate Dakath for some embodiment, because he played his character really well.
Yeah, a lot of.
I don't
push.
know if this is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you.
I was just thinking, I don't know if this is worth Mold Breaker, but I think that, like, seeing Lenora go into the church library or whatever it was, and essentially start to do what could be kind of like heretical research, felt big. That felt like a potentially very big shift in character. Certainly a shift in what we as players know, but it felt like a potentially pretty big shift in character. I'm wondering if Mold Breaker is appropriate there. Maybe not. I'm not certain, but I think it's worth noting.
I don't think it's yet there.
Okay.
I
I'm
actually
definitely seeing
think.
that.
I think MVP applies to that. Honestly, like the whole way you just put it. MVP is for the character who drives the story to a conclusion, shines in the last moments, about whom everyone agrees couldn't have done it without that or without them. That's kind of
I
like.
guess it gives us a direction for the campaign, in a way.
I mean, it certainly answers. It certainly it helps put together like the stuff that I think we as players maybe were guessing or kind of knew just culturally versus what our players were versus what the characters were kind of maybe feeling based off of their kind of deep-seated religious beliefs. So I think that it was it certainly gave us a direction and helped kind of write some of the dissonance layer between Nathan and Gavin.
Sweet. I will take my persona point.
Sweet. I'm gonna drop, folks.
Alrighty.
Okay, we got some beliefs to rewrite for next time. Are we playing next week or are we waiting 2 weeks? How do you guys want to do this? We'll discuss on the Discord.
Yeah, we can look at it.
Sounds good.
Look at the
All
schedule.
right, thank you. Thanks, Pete. That was great.
A lot of fun.